Up until now, my opinions of the women of Doctor Who have been fairly positive. Even the companions I didn't particularly praise, I said were merely forgettable or average. Well, say goodbye to all of that, because I have little to nothing nice to say about Dodo Chaplet. And yes, her name is Dodo. And boy does she deserve that moniker. Well, sit back and get comfy because explaining her backstory is going to take some time. The Doctor and his companion Stephen travel back to Paris in 1572, during a time which French Protestants were being massacred by the Catholic Church. There they meet a girl named Anne Chaplet. Despite Stephen's protests, the Doctor leaves Anne behind and takes the TARDIS to the 1960s. Furious at the Doctor's apathy towards Anne's certain demise, he storms out of the TARDIS after it lands, leaving the Doctor alone with only his thoughts.
Your mind is made up? Goodbye. My dear Stephen, history sometimes gives us a terrible shock. And that is because we don't quite fully understand. Why should we? After all, we're all too small to realize its final pattern. Therefore, don't try and judge it from where you stand. I was right to do as I did. Yes, that I firmly believe. Even after all this time, he cannot understand. I dare not change the course of history. Well, at least I taught him to take some precautions. He did remember to look at the scanner before he opened the doors. Now, they're all gone. All gone. None of them could understand. Not even my little Susan. Or Vicky. And as for Barbara and Chesterton, they were all too impatient to get back to their own time. And now, Stephen. Perhaps I should go home. Back to my own planet. But I can't.
Now, some of you may or may not be wondering what the flying hell any of that has to do with Dodo's introduction as a companion. Well, just after that big dramatic scene and the Doctor's subtle emotional monologue and all that, you know, all that boring, dramatic, character revealing stuff, this happens.
Who are you?
Where's the telephone?
What did you say?
The telephone, I've got to ring up.
Oh, pull yourself together, child. I think you've made a mistake.
Who are you? Are you the police?
Oh, good gracious, of course not.
But this is a police box. It says so outside.
Yes, I know, but it isn't if you know what I mean. Now run along and find another police box. In any case, child, what do you want to do with the police,
There's been an accident. A little boy's been hurt, and I've got to phone the police.
Oh, well, I'm afraid I can't help you. No, you must run along and phone the police somewhere else. And at the same time, phone for an ambulance.
Wait a minute. If this isn't a police box, what is it? And who are you?
Well, my dear, I'm a doctor of science, and this machine is for traveling through time and relative dimensions in space. Now,
Come
you...
again.
Oh, never mind, my dear, never mind. Run along.
There's something odd going on here.
Oh, please, child.
Quick! You've got to take off!
Oh, so you come back, my boy.
Yes, I've come back. We can't go into that now. There are 2 policemen coming over the common towards the sergeant.
Coming here? Good gracious, they'll want to use the telephone or be waiting, thank you. That was close. Well, tell me, young man, what made you change your mind?
How did you get in here?
On my feet, same as you did.
Do you realize what's happening? We've taken off. We could land anywhere.
Really, Trappy? Where to?
But we're traveling in time and space. We're not on Earth anymore. We could land anywhere in any age.
Tell us another one.
Doctor, how could you?
What else could I do, dear boy? You don't want a couple of policemen aboard the TARDIS, do you? You know you're the most inconsistent young man. Just now you were telling me off for not having that chaplain girl aboard.
Ah, that is different. But this is no joyride, you know. You may never get home again.
I don't care.
What about your parents?
I haven't got any. I live with my great aunt, and she won't care if she never sees me again.
No, you see, all this fuss about nothing.
And don't you think she looks rather like my grandchild, Susan?
You forget, I've never met your granddaughter.
Oh, no, of course not, no. Yes, but she does, you know. What is your name, child?
Dodo.
What?
It's Dorothea, really. Dorothea Chaplin.
Chaplain?
You're not French, are you?
Don't be daft. Your granddad was, though.
Doctor? It's not possible, is it? Chaplain and great...
Yes, it is possible, my boy. Very possible. Welcome aboard the TARDIS, Miss Dorothea Chaplin.
Dodo!
Oh, my dear, my dear.
Yes, it seems Anne may have survived the massacre, and Dodo is her descendant, and just by a complete coincidence just happened to stumble into the TARDIS just after they left Anne behind, and just happens to have no job, family, or life to go back to. Wow, that's a lot to swallow. I'd make a joke about how she was shoved in at the last minute, but she was literally shoved in the last few minutes of that episode. Yeah, Anne Chaplay was considered as a companion, but they wanted to avoid the whole Katarina problem of having a companion unfamiliar with the modern era, so they concocted the tired old trick of having a descendant played by the same actress. The only thing worse than her introduction was her departure. In the last episode she's injured halfway through the story, sent away to recover, and we never see her again. Apparently, while off-screen, she decided to stay behind and has the Doctor's new companions, Ben and Polly, return her TARDIS key. Laziest exit ever. As incredibly contrived her introduction and exit were, how does the character play out? Well, as her name suggests, she's pretty stupid. On top of that, she is such a hazard to the others, it's not even funny. In her first episode as a companion, like right after her introduction, she unwittingly brings a virus to the future that almost causes the downfall of the human race. She's just so lovable, isn't she? Yeah, as you can tell, I don't like Dodo very much, and in fact, I'd go as far as to call her the worst female companion of the black and white era. She's not the worst companion ever. I won't be covering him because it's a male companion, but still she's pretty bad. And it seems I'm not the only person who feels that way. Now, when I started these reviews, I made a promise to myself to only include my personal opinions and not try to portray the feelings of the larger Doctor Who fanbase, but the fan theory about Dodo's ultimate fate is so dark and so mean-spirited that I can't overlook it. Dodo made numerous appearances in spin-off fiction, and many have interpreted them to mean that she ended up dying of syphilis. I am not even kidding, that's a real fan theory. Now, I'm not going to try and debate whether this theory is true or not, but it shows that the fanbase doesn't care for Dodo very much either. Thankfully, it would take the series almost 20 years to sink to these levels again, but I'll talk about those companions when I eventually get around to